Good morning everybody and welcome back to Visit Fylde Coast, and you'll recognise that we're standing against the side of the Fleetwood to Blackpool tramway, and this video is about age-old sea defences. And you need to look at this little pile of soil covered in grass admittedly, and then orientate yourself so that little browny reddy coloured building in centre shot that's got a little bit of graffiti on the back of it, that is at the end of Thornton Gate. So Thornton Gate is the junction. Immediately across from that, heading right towards the sea, and the sea is, well, a little way away from where we're standing at the moment. But this trail starts here with this pile of soil quite some time ago, because if you've been following Visit Fylde Coast for some time, you'll know that we're like an enigma. So make sure that you've subscribed to our Visit Fylde Coast YouTube channel and give this video a thumbs up if you're enjoying it as well, and then you'll get lots of new content when we make it. So we're going to head off in this direction, which is the direction of Fleetwood. So this story begins quite a long time ago. In the early days, actually, when we very first started publishing Visit Cleveleys, I was going to say Fylde Coast then. And Visit Cleveleys was our first website. And way back in the day, we were contacted by one of our readers, a chap called Mike Pollard. And Mike had started doing some investigations of that pile of soil at the side of the tramway. Now, you might also remember, if you're quite long in the tooth, that the whole of the Blackpool to Fleetwood tramway was relaid some years ago now, but the whole of the tramway, the whole of the tram lines were all upgraded. We'll just have a little look over the edge, shall we? So these are all shiny bright new tracks, and the compound that BAM Nuttall, the contractors, used while they were doing that upgrade work was actually at the side of that pile of grass. So Mike had started researching it, and he'd actually found out quite a lot of interesting stuff, because that was a dead end, but it led him to discover that this is actually the line of the old original sea defences that protected the inland areas from the sea. Now, if you think, I mean, as you can see, it's a busy road. This is, go on, I don't know whether this bit's Russell Road or Fleetwood Road North. It's one or the other. It's the main road to Fleetwood from Blackpool and Cleveleys. So it's a busy road, and we're quite away from the sea. I mean, it's kind of in that direction, but quite some way between the houses. So it gives you some idea just how much area the sea would cover if it were left to its own devices. I'm going to tell you this tale as we walk down here, and then we'll rejoin in a minute as we get to the other side of the tramway. So I've got a bit of the walk off. We've got to the other side of the Russell Beach tram stop, and I've got a bit of the walk out so that it's not quite as noisy with all the traffic here. And this is where the investigations led Mike to next, because this is believed to be one of the sections of the old original sea defences, which were called ramps. And if you find my accent difficult to understand, that's RAM for mother, PS. So this little bank here is believed to be part of the original sea defences, which were, well, begun kind of way back in the 1800s. So anyway, Mike had sent me all this information, and we'd had a conversation about it on our Facebook page and on the website. And it concluded that these ramps were probably built in around the 1800s by the Hesketh family. There's an old 1912 Ordnance Survey map which does show the original ramp, and it was 2 miles long from Meadows Avenue at the other side of a mountainous way to Rossall School. Now Rossall School is just past the end of these houses here, so you can see how long it was. In distance, this is College Farm, I believe, and he contacted the owners there, and the owners knew that it was a very different composition and it was very sandy, and that they've been there a very long time, and their understanding is that they were built to keep the tide out. You see, we're getting up to the Welcome to Fleetwood sign here. So as you carry on walking just down here, you can see some more of it, and I've actually got a photograph from way back in the day that I'm going to show you, which illustrates what it would have looked like back when it was used as a sea defence. So apparently in 1852 there'd been a fierce storm, according to our local historian Nick Moore, and it broke the embankment, and the owner of Carr House Farm had hundreds of drowned sheep, pigs, poultry, and hundreds of pounds worth of damage. And as you're walking down here, you can see that we're coming up to another bit of this raised banking. And by 1890 there were more than 50 farms in this area. Still 1 or 2 in this area now. This land, to my knowledge, is all kind of farmland, and you're looking over now towards Hill House and ICI. And if you are local, you'll know that this field is Goose Field. This is where the grey-legged geese come to do their feeding in winter, and there's literally hundreds, if not thousands of them feed on this field. Comes the tram. So you might also recognise the name of Ramper Road, which is another local well-known name. And this photo I'm going to show you in a minute shows the ramps and the dyke from the 1900s. And there's a full article about this on our Visit Cleveleys website, which I'll pop the link in below in the description for you, so you can have a look at the pictures and you can find out more about these old sea defences. I just think it's incredible that this is the end of Westbourne here, where that car's just turning out now, and that is the road down to the sea. At the end of it is Green Drive, at the end of that is the promenade. See, quite a long way from the sea here. And when you think that this was the sea defence built to keep the water out, it must have well covered an enormous amount of space. So this is the picture. Are you ready? So you see now why I've walked down here, because I've turned round and I'm just looking for the houses in this picture. Oh, it's those. I've walked a little bit too far. So they're the Lutyens style houses, which are just up there on the right hand side. And I bet that's the crossing where the tram line is now, actually, that little bridge on the picture. Tell you what, we'll walk back this way, shall we, and we'll compare it. So when you think about the construction of the sea defences and the way that today's modern engineering controls the sea as much as it possibly can do, it's quite astonishing, really, because the alternative is that this entire area of residential land between the main road and the seafront just would get flooded. It would just all get flooded. And especially when you think that sea level is quite a bit higher now than it would have been back in the day when these were all built. So these are the Luton style houses on the right hand side that were built. I think they were built around about the time of the cottage exhibition. That's another story for another video. We'll do that another day. But there's all kinds of interesting stuff when you start looking. Right, so I think we're just about in the right spot. There you go. So these houses here, oh, I've got the 30 in the way now. Just a minute, let's move for the road sign. So these houses here, you can see are those. You can tell that they're them by the eaves and the roof line. So I reckon that this crossing across the tramway here is that little bridge in that picture. And that's going back to 1900-ish. Wow. Look how few properties there are as well. That's amazing. So I hope you've enjoyed this little video and a little look back into, well, the history of the area, but not only that, the history of how we've kept ourselves dry. If you have, give this video a thumbs up, give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe to Visit Fylde, and we will see you in the next video. Bye for now. Bye.